One, check, 1, 2.
This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield, Ryan Beckman, and Chris Goss.
Ryan Beckman, Chris Goss, and I'm with me today, going solo again. And my name is Corey Winfield, and I'm excited to share a little bit about my day in recovery with you, early recovery. I have 14 months, a little over 14 months sober, and my drug of choice was alcohol. This is your first time listening, welcome. And normally, like the intro said, you got Chris Goss and Ryan Beckman with me, but tonight just solo. Actually not with the guys tonight, and I'm sure they're doing well, but I had quite an interesting day. I needed to not isolate, but I needed to seclude myself to get some things done and some things that we need to do actually for 217 recovery, and just to get paperwork and things sorted out like that and free from distractions. And I was able to do most of that today, so I feel really good. It was like, it's not going to be like George Bush, say mission accomplished, but we're getting there, and I can't do it alone. And I want to say thanks to everybody that's been helping and involved in the process of becoming a 501c3. A lot of T's to cross and a lot of I's to dot, and just kind of make sure those things are rolling smooth before you submit your paperwork, because you want to get it right the first time. This is what I've been told. So that's why we've been taking our time for almost a year, pretty much. So things are coming along, though, and it's very exciting. It's an exciting time for us. It's an exciting time for people in northern Michigan where we live, and we're going to help a lot of people, and that's what's keeping me sober today. And you've probably heard other people say, you got to help the other people, and that's how you stay sober. That's the 12th step, and yeah, it really does keep me sober. And doing the podcast keeps me sober. That's something I enjoy doing. It's my background. It's what I did for 20 years. Not podcast, but radio, and I like to entertain people. So you add that to the mix, and then people start telling you, hey, listen to your podcast. It really helps me. It motivates me, and you inspire me, this and that. And I said, no, you inspire me, seeing other people do well and, not BS around so much. And not really that they're BSing around, but just the part or where they're at in their own recovery or this journey of recovery. It is really a journey, and it's different for everybody. There's no correct timetable. Like a lot of people keep asking me, we're putting some stuff together, and they're like, well, shouldn't you do a survey, and shouldn't you ask, and are there stats on how many people stay sober that are recovery coaches or this and that? And man, you can stat anything you want, however you want it. If you go to let's just say you go to a pizza joint and you start asking people if they like donuts. What? If you go to, I don't know, like, sure, it'll work, but, what's your favorite donut? You might want to ask, what's your favorite pizza? But then you're like, well, you're only asking people at pizza places. Of course they're going to say that, so I don't know. We'll see what happens with that, but that's why I'm not a big fan of I'm a fan of stats, but they can be skewed. The numbers can be skewed, so we just kind of rely on, well, if they're not ready, they're not ready. The things that we're doing in recovery, we're not therapists, we're not counselors, we're not anything like that. It's not a job of ours to keep people sober or to save people. We're just trying to share our journey in recovery and help out in any way we can. If you need maybe a ride one day, hopefully, we'll be able to provide that for you. Whether it be a treatment or a doctor or whatever, to meetings even. So it's something that we're very excited about, and, we still have a lot to do, but it's those little things, man, those small victories every day where you can do something. And that's what I did today. I didn't get everything I needed to get done, but I got a lot done, and it feels good. It feels rewarding, even if I didn't get as much done today as maybe I think, because tomorrow I'm right back at it. But you know what? I'm keeping it positive, and I didn't do anything negative today. I didn't drink again, like none of that stuff. And it's kind of funny because I did have to go to the hospital today because, well, I would tell you, but HIPAA laws. They keep me from telling you what I went there for, but it turned out that, I'm going to live. Yeah. Can I get a, there we go. Yes. I'm going to live. I know. I'm excited about that. But no, I was on the way there and, was telling the person I was with that, this is the first time I've been back to an emergency room since I was arrested. And that story goes, I was out of jail awaiting my court date, arraignment, whatever, and they told me that, don't drink, don't blah, 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 and that's all I heard was blah, blah, blah. So I got out, and then I drank. And I drank a lot. I started on a Friday, woke up on a Wednesday. Don't remember those other days. And it was really scary. It was a bad withdrawal, too. It was real bad. And I decided after promising family that no, I won't drink anymore. I'll stop now. I knew that I couldn't. The shakes were so bad, and I was trying to drink water just so I could throw something up because the dry heaves were just so bad, and minutes felt like hours. I mean, it was horrible. And I got to the point where I realized I had to get more liquor. I had to just to stop the withdrawals because I was kind of fearful, after the missing 4 days and I don't know what happened. I didn't know if I had a seizure. I didn't know. I still don't know. I have no idea. But I bought a half gallon and I started to drink it down and I got half of it down, which is a fifth. So it took me a fifth to even just kind of feel, that feeling if you drink in excess like I have, you know what I'm talking about, that, and it's not a victory. It's not all right, I'm drunk. It's a, okay, now I can function. And it's just the sickest feeling. It really is. And it's a sad feeling. I remember feeling so sad that I had to look at this bottle and I was such a prisoner to it. When you become physically dependent on it, man, it sucks. And you're just looking at this stupid bottle and thinking, the F am I doing? I don't know. Such a bad thing, man. In my life, it was just horrible. But it made me who I am today, so I can't regret anything. Anna posted a blog on her Broken to Beautiful blog about forgiving yourself. I'm telling you, man, it's hard to forgive yourself. It's hard to figure out how to forgive yourself. And I don't even know what you've done, but it's not easy, I can tell you that. But when you can climb that mountain and get to the top and start going down the other side, you leave all that stuff on the other side of the mountain, man. You really do. And it's not saying that I don't remember the things that I've done or said or whatever. I do. Trust me. But I don't dwell on it. That's not the person I was. That's not the person I am today. That's the person I was. And I was under the influence heavily. And alcohol is very powerful. It's cunning. It's baffling. And you got to move forward. But without that, it's just impossible. It really is. But yeah, if you can find a way to do that, and it was a therapist that gave me some literature on forgiveness, and somebody said to me once, are you better than God? And I said, no, I don't think I'm better than God. Like, well, God forgives you and you can't forgive yourself. What are you trying to do? And between the readings and then that, it just kind of helped me out, and it feels good. But like I said, I don't dwell on those days, and I certainly don't dwell on looking at that bottle and thinking, man, I'm missing that. Not one bit. And you can think I'm lying, but I'm not. I'm being 100% honest, man. I don't get any benefit from lying to you. I'm just saying that it gets so much better, and I was told that so many times over and over and over again. I just couldn't figure out why I couldn't put it together. You know, I'm Corey Winfield. Like, I can do whatever I want. I can do all kinds of stuff. But I can't do this. I can't stop drinking. I don't understand it. Why do I always turn to it? It was such a baffling experience. And going to the hospital all those times, it was just part of the journey. But when I was handcuffed to the hospital bed, because as I was laying in that bed having those horrible withdrawals, and then started drinking some more, I got that half-fifth down. My family was worried at that point. My mother, who was always worried, called a wellness check, and I don't know what she told the cop, if I was drinking or what she told them, but they came over, and I was like, I'm not answering the door because I'm out on bail or whatever, bond, whatever. I always get the two mixed up. And I wasn't answering the door, but my mom made me give her a key, because she's like, at least if you're going to drink yourself to death and die, I'm going to find you before your cat eats you. But she was serious about it. And I don't know if she used those exact words, but pretty much. She didn't want her grandkitty eating her son, but my stepdad had a key, and he came in, let the cop in, and the cop was just like, hey, you're not supposed to be drinking, let's go. And I think that's when he forged a bunch of stuff about the actual incident the night he picked me up. But yeah, when I got to the hospital, I was in the bed, and then they handcuffed me to the bed. I remember thinking, well, this is new. Usually they just came in here, and then the female officer, they switched officers on me, and she was really cool. But she said she'd never seen anybody so drunk before, which I was kind of shocked at. And she informed me, yeah, you're under arrest, and when you get out of here, you're going right to jail. And then the doctor came in and told her she might as well leave, because this is going to take a long time before my blood alcohol level came down enough for them to release me. And so tonight when I went, it was the first time I had went to emergency room since then. And man, I don't miss those days. I'm not a big fan of emergency rooms now, I can tell you that. But I mean, I'm a fan of them. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of them. And the people at Munson and Traverse City was where I went. They did a great job, man. Good people, and everybody came across was really nice. So thanks to them. And yeah, I'm not dying. So that's pretty cool. My girlfriend was like telling me that I shouldn't even have went, like, yesterday, because I'm a big baby, and I will want help and assistance whenever I can get it, and I'm not afraid to ask for it when it comes to stuff like that. And yeah, I was kind of worried, and it was pretty painful, but yeah, I did it, just some ibuprofen, and get some things to correct what's going on. But yeah, no sexually transmitted infections or diseases, nothing like that. I'm not dead, not dying, but just a little bit of pain here and there. And no narcotics, nothing like that. So that's good. Not a big fan. Those are just get you hooked and not really deal with the pain. So sometimes, as Chris will say, and Chris knows, sometimes you got to feel it.
Sexual relationship.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess